Hi guys, welcome to Muthoni's mission. My name is Muthoni Mukiri. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're still watching the videos. I hope the episodes are helping you through, they're strengthening you, they're giving you insights into your life on what you need to do and different things. And I really always check your feedback to see what you guys are telling me. And today, as part of your questions, your DMs, we're going to talk about when your ex moves on too fast. This is a question from Shiko. She says she dated a guy for 5 years, and then after she broke up with him, in like 3 months, he already met a girl and then proposed to her and married her in the same year. So she says she's still hungover on the guy. She has never moved on. She doesn't understand how it can still hurt a year later after the ex is already married. So thank you for joining me. Let's talk about when your ex moves on too fast. Matters of the heart can be really difficult. Like sometimes they can be like science or mathematics. Sometimes you don't really understand. Sometimes there's no formula. Sometimes there's a formula, you don't even get it. So it also happened to me. I broke up with someone, and then 9 months down the line, a woman gave birth to their child, to their baby. And then like Shiko has said, and like many people have sent me DMs and they've said, you wonder how disposable was I? How replaceable was I? That, like, that's too fast. And then you start stalking them. You start going to the ex's social media pages. You start stalking. You start stalking their new catch. You start stalking their new girlfriend, their new boyfriend. And now that one actually makes it worse because you're stalking them. And then now you start comparing yourself to them. And then you start thinking, oh, I'm so much prettier than her. What is it he wanted? What do men really want? So sometimes when your ex moves on too fast, you are left thinking, what is wrong with me? Or what is it I did to deserve this? Like, at least, everybody wants to be the one to move on fast. Yeah, clearly. And then also you might break it off, or it might end. You might be the one who's breaking it off, actually, like in my case. But then deep down, even 1 month down the line after you've broken up, in your head, you're telling yourself he might come back to his senses. He might want to change and be better for you. He will come begging you and sweep you off your feet with a proposal and those things. Your silly mind tells you that. So you still hang over on them as much as you moved on a bit. And then when you realize they've gotten someone else, like they're done with you, they're living their best life, now it hits you. This is actually over. Like, it's done. And this is what happens when you go through a breakup. You go through loss and you go through grieving, like grief. Grief. And what happens is you've lost someone, and the person who was special to you now becomes a memory, but they're still here. Like, you can grab onto them. The reason I say it's like grief is because even when someone you love dies or someone you know dies, at the back of your head, before you can get over, at the first stages of grieving, during the first stages of grieving, you imagine them walking in the door. You imagine seeing them in a crowd. Like, it's not yet registered in your mind. Like, when they die, they're gone. You in your mind, you're thinking, probably was not true, they were lost somewhere, or they might come back. That's the same thing that happens when you go through some of these breakups. And it's worse if you've dated someone for a long time, like 5 years, 8 years, and then you break up, and then immediately they have someone else and they move on. They form their soulmate. Well, number one, this is what I did, and this is what you need to tell yourself, and this is what you need to know. If your ex has moved on so fast, number one, what your ex does with their life is none of your business. You've broken it off, it's over, you don't want to go back. Or even if you've broken it off but you're not sure it's over, and then they move on with another person, wake up. Hello, wake up. They've moved on. So what they do with their business, what they do with their life is none of your business. And the worst thing is stalking their exes, stalking them stalking their current partner, stalking them on social media, comparing yourself. Let them go. Let them go. And let me tell you, if a person is not choosing me, that should be a turn off. That should be a turn off. Because Don't let a man tell you twice he does not want you. Don't let him tell you twice. He's already moved on. There can be a relationship that's one-sided. You're the only one who wants to work things. Him is moved on with someone else. What I tell myself, and what you also need to tell yourself, is that was your turn in their life. I know, it's sad. It was your turn in their life. Now it's someone else's turn. And that is not your soulmate, because it's not supposed to be like that, where you're dating someone, you break up, they move on with someone else, they get someone else pregnant immediately, they go over to their parents to ask their hand in marriage, and you're there wondering, wow, how painful can it get? So remember, it's none of your business what they do. Block them. Cut off even ties with mutual friends you had together that remind you of that situation. Try to distract yourself from him, from anything that reminds you of him. You can, whatever you had together, you can burn the stuff, you can give some stuff away. Like, try to cut him off from your life. His present tense, his past tense. Now he has someone else. So whatever he does is none of your business. Try to focus on your life. And let me tell you this, the best revenge is to be happy and to move on. The best revenge is to move on and to be happy. How can you do this? When you break up with someone and then they've decided automatically they're moving on, they've gotten someone else, there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can do is focus on you, but not about that situation. So what do? You can go for therapy. I went for therapy. You can also read books, read relationship books, watch videos on YouTube like you're doing right now. Congrats for doing this. And the reason, let me first boast a bit, feel good. The reason I started this channel is because when I was going through my breakups, I could not find any local content here in Africa focusing on the things I'm talking about. So you're lucky I am here to hold your hand. Cindy. Yeah, so read relationship books, watch YouTube videos about emotional stuff, about these things. Follow inspirational people. If there are people who remind you of your ex, who are really, maybe even their family, cut ties. The reason you guys were close is because you are dating that person. Afterwards, you've no business being close with them like that, because you will be stuck. And sometimes this is what happens. So you date a guy for a long time, you break up, they move on with someone else, but you don't want to accept they moved on. So you go back trying to beg them, or sometimes men can be also crazy. They come trying to talk to you, but they already have someone else. So you end up becoming a side chick to the guy who you were dated for 5 years. No, stop. Just stop. Let's pause for a second. A moment of silence to women who've done that. It's all right. We're not judging, but we're not doing that anymore. Cindy, yeah. So, go for therapy, read books, self-care. Take yourself on nice dates, buy yourself nice things, take yourself out on a movie. Of course, I don't want you to do the things you used to do with him. You can find different things. Go for zip lining, you know what I mean? Go for, it's called GP cutting. Go to Naivasha for rally. Point is, try to make yourself happy your own way. At first it might feel weird, but it's absolutely necessary. They've moved on, and you feel like you need closure. The only closure you need is that they don't want you. That's enough closure. Because now you've already seen they don't want you. So what other closure are you going for? What other closure? They tell you are not their type. So also tell yourself this. If they wanted to stay, they would have stayed. If they wanted to be with you, they would have been with you. Sometimes we think holding on makes you stronger, but at times it's letting go that makes you stronger. I know. So he's moved on too fast, but that should be a turn off. Like, dude, like you're trying to show me I was that replaceable. And then also, this is really important as I wind up. Kill your pride, kill your ego. Ukiwachwa wachika. Accept it. Now that's the hardest part, because we don't want to imagine mimi, the way I'm pretty like this, a guy just moves on, I have to take him back from that chick. You will hurt yourself over and over again. Sometimes I say you'd rather cry that one time instead of start going back to a guy who's already moved on, and then you keep crying because you've decided to become a side chick, or he tells you in your face, chick, move on. Like, I'm done with you. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. Rejection can be painful, but sometimes rejection is redirection. that person was not for you. Your person will not do those things to you. Your person, you'll not just fight with your person, break up, and 3 weeks later he's impregnated another woman. That is not your soulmate, and that is not how this story is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that painful. Love is not painful. Love does not hurt. So if he moves on too fast, the best you can do is focus on yourself. It's all right, but whatever he does with his life is none of your damn business. But also remember, don't go breaking up with people who are good to you just because you think they'll come back to you. If someone is good to you, is respectable, don't go breaking up with people because of bullshit. And then when they move on, you come here crying and you go begging them. You also need to be wise when it comes to these things. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Muthoni Mukiri. Please leave your comments down below. I always read your comments. I read your DMs. I read your emails. Sometimes I read DMs when I'm on the road, so I cannot be able to reply to them then, and then I say I reply later, and then things come up, but I always read them. So always chat me and tell me what topics you want me to talk about. I want to know what you guys are struggling with. That is what I talk about, and that is what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys when you're going through those tough times, when you're going through challenging times, when you're going through identity crisis. I'm your girl for that. So my name is Muthoni Mukiri. You have been watching Muthoni's Mission. Please share this information and please subscribe.